Even though many of the Indian contingents had made some memorable results in athletics, hockey, archery, leading up to the Asian Games in Hangzhou, much of the talks leading up to the start of the Games has been the drama unfolding in the football event. From possibly not having even one senior player to now possibly gaining somewhat a semblance of a team or a squad, with most of the seniors absent, much has transgressed over the last few weeks, the age-old club versus country debate at the center of it all. Here's a brief backgrounder of all the twists and turns.
The Indian football team began their Asiad campaign today. They took on a higher-ranked China at the multi-sport event in their opener today, playing in a new venue, that too against the host of the mega event. They entered the field with inadequate time to prepare. Get this, the footballers had to spend a 10-hour layover at the airport. They landed in China late on Monday. And what's more, it wasn't decided until the last moment who they would even play. Here's what Igor Stimac, the head coach of the Indian football team, said before the match. "I'm not thinking of results. I don't have any reason whatsoever to request results from the players. The reasons are well known." Yes, reasons absolutely well known. One of the biggest club versus country battles was at the heart of this. It's a debate that we've often witnessed in football. With just more than a week to go, the All India Football Federation is in a standoff with the Indian Super League franchises. The Indian Super League franchises refused to release some of their top footballers. At least 9 players from the original list were not released for the games. That's because the Asian Games football competition schedule clashes with that of the ISL. That begins on September 21st. The Asian Games fall outside FIFA's international match window, so legally, the footballers are bound to play for their ISL clubs. The All India Football Federation spent days in closed-room talks with the Sports Ministry as well as the SAI, Sports Authority of India. Many possibilities were discussed, including, dreadfully, pulling out their team, which they thankfully did not resort to. The AIFF were forced to name an inexperienced second-string team. Sunil Chhetri is the lone senior who was released for national duty by his Bengaluru franchise. Then came the news of a couple of other players being added to the lean squad, especially the inclusion of centre-back Sandesh Jigan. Igor Stimac might have breathed a sigh of relief, but just about. It's still not the original full-strength side. But with Chhetri at the helm, Igor may still try to work some magic.
Now, it's not been the best lead up to the Asian Games as far as the football squad goes. Imagining discussing tactics and formations on a flight, just imagine that. And not at pitch side, before training or in a meeting room, on ground zero. Back in 2014, the then coach Wim Kovermans had picked a strong 30-member squad for a 3-week camp before they set out to Incheon, the home for the Asiad back then. And how did the tournament go? India was part of a 3-team group comprising UAE and Jordan. After weeks of preparation, India conceded 7 goals in 2 games, scored none and came back home failing to even qualify from the group stage. And we've seen this across sporting disciplines. Take cricket, for example. The Indian men's team fared horribly in a series before the 2011 World Cup. And boy, what a campaign that turned out to be. Now, we aren't saying Sunil Chhetri and his boys will do miracles, but maybe it's circumstances like this that will turn this bunch into creating something special. So what's the schedule like for this tournament? Now, apart from China that they played today, they have Bangladesh lined up against them on September 21st. Now, India is ranked 90 and Bangladesh is ranked 189. The next match is on the September 24th against Myanmar, a side that's ranked 160. Now, on paper, India must fancy their chances to qualify, for sure. Now, let's take a look at the head-to-head records then. First up, Bangladesh. Now, they've played 8 matches with each other. That was since 2005, if I'm not mistaken. India's won 4 of them, and Bangladesh has managed to draw 4. The next opponents, Myanmar. How have they fared against each other? Here's the head-to-head again. They've played 4 matches against each other since 2008. Among them, India has won 2. Myanmar has managed to pocket 1 in and has also managed to pull out a draw. Now, for a modest squad, it's a good challenge, but not one they cannot scale, given the matchups. So what's the format this time around? So we have 23 teams that are vying for glory at the football event in Asian Games this time. Now, there are all the teams that, of course, divided into groups of 6. Top 2 progress from each group to go to the round of 16, and 4 of the best placed, third placed ranked teams also make it. Let me repeat, 4 teams who are the best third place sides will make it to the round of 16. So there is surely hope for India to show some muster and surge ahead.